Fashion with the Made in Kazakhstan label. The leading and aspiring Kazakh fashion industry designers. Fashion Week reviews, the latest trends, and pointers from the stylists. All your news from the world of fashion and beauty on Fashion Guide.
19 years ago, Astana was announced as the new capital of Kazakhstan. Since then, the city has gained not only the status of an administrative center of the country, but also a business, cultural, and fashion one. More and more fashion events are held in the capital because in the wardrobes of the local fashionistas, there is place not only for business suits, but also for exclusive gowns of Kazakhstan designers. One of the recent events which took place in Astana is Fashion World Kazakhstan. Major fashion houses and young designers showed their collections. Master of domestic fashion industry, Kuralay Nurkadilova, opened the event. Her show consisted of both men's and women's clothes. The collection, named Wardrobe, includes some basic items which can be easily combined with each other. Straight-cut dresses, jackets, stylish polo, evening gowns, and a lot of check patterns. These are the must-haves in the wardrobe of a modern lady. The designer put a special emphasis on textile and fittings. I am very careful about selecting fabric and cutting. Despite the fact that the price is affordable, the processing inside is luxurious. There's lace, some beautiful treatment, sticking, and fringing. That's why it is a pleasure to wear it. In the new season, the designer brings heraldry back to fashion and suggests wearing blazons of Kuralay directly on the chest, and changing traditional I Love Kazakhstan t-shirts to I Love Bishbarmak ones. Aida Kaumenova presented lightweight chiffon dresses decorated with embroidery and traditional ornaments. Such airy dresses Aida recommends to wear with Kazakh vest. The collection was modern and at the same time it corresponded to the main idea of the fashion event. We have to demonstrate that our national character, which is reflected in collections and dress, is very interesting because we have a very rich culture. Incredibly feminine looks were demonstrated by a young designer, Damira Nurlan. The girl of her brand loves images in one color scheme and a combination of different fabrics. I use natural Turkish fabrics brought especially for me from Istanbul. It is mainly lace, linen, and neoprene. Generally, for our Kazakhstan customers, these can be worn in everyday life and these can be worn on a holiday. Together with Kuralay Nurkadilova, Kristina Kazanyan also showed men's clothes. Her interest in costumes was reflected in her collection. Men went to the catwalk in trousers and jackets of gray turquoise color. The girls were dressed by Kristina in jumpsuits and slit skirts. I use costume fabrics, sometimes I use silk. I bought them outside the country. I ordered them on the internet. I was not sure about the colors, but how they worked out, this is amazing. I intended to make women's dresses, but when the fabrics had been delivered, and a week after I got the offer to participate here, all this worked out. The highlight of the event was the show of Karliga Zhinbaeva. In her collection, Queens and Princesses, the designer presented mother-daughter looks. Evening gowns, fine handmade, and clothes for little girls were appreciated by the event guests. Fashionable guests, street-style photographers, new collections, and gloss editors. Astana has hosted the third season of the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. 9 designers from Kazakhstan, Russia, Ukraine, and France showed at the catwalk both men's and women's clothes as well as clothes for summer and winter. The Fashion Week organizers noted that the expo had influenced the guest list. This time, a lot of foreign guests visited the event. It was an opportunity for Kazakhstan designers to expand the geography of their sales. We have been really developing. Comparing to the previous seasons, this season we have 2 days of shows and we have got a lot of headliners, more participants from Kazakhstan, and of course there are more foreign visitors and foreign mass media. The fashion personalities from Almaty also attended the MBFW Astana. Designer Sakyen Jaksibayev and many others were spotted at the event. The business lady, Asel Zoya, decided to stand out from the fashion crowd in her own way. She was the only lady wearing a hat. I often wear hats, and honestly to say I had doubts, should I or shouldn't? But since a hat is really necessary in summer, because besides its beauty as a headdress, it is reliable protection of hair from dry wind and the sun, so I try to protect my hair. Having evaluated the outfits of each other, the guests took their places in the room. On the podium, there were both cruise and winter collections. The designers chose what to show depending on their preferences. Aygerim Aykenova showed clothes in which it is comfortable to meet autumn or spend cool summer evenings. Juicy shades of green, blue, as well as more reserved colors coexisted with ethno prints. The concept of this collection sounds as, what if? There's a dialogue here. I explored the dialogue between the nomads of wind and the nomads of steppe. Polynesians also called the nomads of wind. And despite that, Polynesia is quite far away from Kazakhstan, from the Kazakhstan steppes. I saw in my researches that we have a lot of things in common in our cultures. And I wanted to study it, to present it in my designs. The audience began to dream of vacations after the show of the Ukrainian brand Ryanabi. Open shoulders, short tops, dresses combinations. It is especially nice to pack them in a suitcase when going to a holiday by the sea. The appropriate colors dominated in the collection. This is how waves look like at different times of the day. This is a cruise collection that we showed before on Mercedes-Benz Odessa Fashion Days. And of course, everything is very light, feminine, white, and blue. In principle, these are clothes which can be worn as you have seen. There were different models: in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. Masterpiece, such an indiscreet name, is the brand of the designer Evgenia Linovich. She presented a fall-winter collection dedicated to Scandinavia. Nevertheless, the trouser suits, dressed of different lengths, coats and capes, will suit not only a harsh climate. I went specially to Copenhagen, went specially to Stockholm. And in general, the fashion from Northern Europe is very visible in fashion industry and in modern design. In graffiti, we meet more and more artists from Stockholm and Copenhagen. That's why it is all in the air. The 2 days of shows gave a lot of ideas to fashionistas, from Scandinavia to Polynesia, from satin to wool. The variety of designer ideas can be applied in 2 seasons. For Astana fashion girls, such events are an occasion to change a strict suit for a designer's attire for a short while. As a rule, bright, exclusive clothes is not on demand in the administrative center of the country. The lifestyle in Astana dictates its own wardrobe rules. More restraint, less creativity. This is a business dress code. Astana is an administrative city. There are all the public services here, respectively. This is a city of civil servants. And of course, everybody wears suits. I think 80% or even 90% of those living here are dressed in business clothes.
Есть определенные мировые тенденции, которые необходимо уважать, если ты хочешь связать свою жизнь с большими деньгами и создать.
There are certain trends in the world that must be respected if you want to link your life with big money. Here you should understand that in business dress codes, sometimes you need your bright, outstanding me to muffle a little, and to bring your business thinking to the foreground and your attitude to creating a common result.
Все-таки свое бизнес-мышление и твой настрой на созидание какого-то общего результата, скажем так.
Когда я переезжала
When I moved to Almaty, I had, of course, to change my wardrobe. And I am talking now not only about warmer clothes. But Astana also does not take bright clothes, outstanding style, and trendy clothes. It's not like in Almaty. People in Astana do not have many opportunities to express their individuality with the help of clothes. The most popular colors are basic ones: black, dark blue, gray, and white. Acceptable print is stripes, simple silhouettes, a standard choice of fabrics, and the length of midi, which is approved in the business environment. In general, the wardrobe of a resident of the capital looks like this. A lot of business suits. There are both trouser suits and pencil skirt suits. A pencil skirt is a piece of clothes that always helps out. A white shirt is necessary. Such clothes are must-haves in Astana because there are a lot of business meetings. And as a rule, a business look sets the tone of a meeting. But even a business style does not have to be always the same and boring. That is what stylists think. Madi Bekdair among them, he decided to modify the image of Astana citizens. It is necessary to stand out now. Every specialist is now a professional. Every specialist is a qualified one. And of course, one of the tools that can distinguish you from the general background is your image. At the workshop dedicated to the creation of a business wardrobe, he voiced the main mistake of Astana fashion girls. Trying to join the administrative environment, they refuse even what is appropriate. In the business dress code, it is not necessary to ignore accessories and decorations. Many girls, when they start the formation of their business capsule, they forget about some brightness, about femininity. And jewelry accessories disappear completely out of their business wardrobe. Images becomes too predictable, very boring, very clumsy, and not individual. Madi Bekdair's point of view is supported by his colleagues from the capital. Today, experiments are approved even in the office style. There are only a few restrictions, but nobody will condemn some interesting details in your image. If you come to a meeting with a bright accessory, then the mood and the temperature of this meeting will be much warmer. I would like to see brighter images, more stylish images from Astana residents, so that they take off the gray sweaters and buns. I want young people to become more creative. Listeners of the workshop are ready to apply the whole theory in practice in the nearest future. Perhaps by the new season, we'll see more bright images in the streets of the capital. Official institutions, high-level hotels, mere skyscrapers, wide avenues, and townspeople in strict suits. This is the capital. The local designers try to change the habitual appearance of Astana residents. Designer Akirke Raisova is one of those who create unusual products. Her author's handbags under the brand name Fermoir have conquered the hearts of Astana fashion girls. Fermoir is an ancient French word which means a metal clasp. That is what I use in my handbags, metal clasps. This is literally translated as a fermoir. To create accessories, the designer uses lace, jacquard, silk, and linen. Especially popular are handbags with embroidery, floral applique, and the inscription, Big Drama Show. And most recently, Akirke started designing clothes. Her dresses are also made in the vintage style. From accessories to clothes changed designer Aliya Jamantayeva. The manufacturer of sunglasses has released a special collection of T-shirts dedicated to Kazakhstan. This year, in connection with the Expo, I also released a series of T-shirts under the slogan, I love Kazakhstan. I've patented this slogan here in Kazakhstan. By the way, I turned out to be the very first one. Here are the T-shirts of two colors, I love Kazakhstan, very creative. The artist-designer Aidana Manaydarova has drawn them. The tendencies for inscriptions are also traced by the young designer Ainura Rai. The T-shirts, dresses, sweatshots, and caps of her brand District attract with the following words: I breathe in, I wind up, I dance. The new collection is decorated with quotes from books, lines from poems, and street art photos. My first collection also had inscriptions. This collection is dedicated to the three writers, poets who influenced my ideology. The collection's name is B because it is Brodsky, Ray Bradbury, and is Charles Bukowski. Say yes to the dream. This is the slogan of Dream Sea brand. The brand designer, Olga Virai, suggests making choice in favor of refined dresses, blouses, and skirts for all occasions. I decided to create such a free collection in which you can not only walk in the street but also go to the office. That is for young, self-confident women. Therefore, all the clothes is made of such fabrics as linen, cotton, and denim. I like these fabrics very much. They're set on the lining to be comfortable, not to restrict movements. Vintage, expressive phrases, femininity, and love for freedom. Astana fashion designers urge to be individual and bright, and they prove that making a creative image is as easy as making a business look. Another very successful designer from Astana, Gulnur Imanova Latip, started her fashion career with wedding dresses. And today her brand, Ilati, is also a brand of evening dresses and children's clothes. The designer told us about some changes and plans for the future. That is, summer, autumn are more or less successful, but winter and early spring are low season. That's why we launched the children's collection, in order to cope with the demand during the low season. We managed to do this, and we realized that the demand is very good, that there is not enough of such kind of product. Then we went further. We launched the evening collection, and there was a boom. We realized that this is the most important thing to do and what to concentrate on. Ilati evening dresses are must-have for red carpets, photo shoots, and graduations. The features of Gulnur's products are classic elegance and sexuality. The fashion designer puts emphasis on exquisite fabrics and topical styles. Such a bohemian style. For this, lace was used. We've been working for more than 4 years with lace. Lace for me, you know, I studied the history of lace. Lace is a fabric of aristocrats. Very few people could afford it. If you wear lace, then you stand out among all. Our brand's DNA is lace. Designer uses it also in collections such as Mother-Daughter. Paired dresses are worn for family celebrations. This theme continues in the autumn-winter line. This is a family theme, but in a bit different interpretation. It is like a family album. This is what our parents were wearing, what I saw in my mother, the memories I have. We are transferred to the past by translucent blouses, dresses combinations, fur collars, and berets. The main change in the new collection was the appearance of basic pieces of clothes. Now the assortment of the brand is expanded due to t-shirts, capes, and denim jackets. We wanted our clothes to be worn by our girls, Ilati girls, every day. Here are the sets we came up with for them. Here's a very interesting skirt, light, fashionable cut, and it is such an interesting corset. It will emphasize the waist of any girl. Having gained the love of Kazakhstan customers, Gulnur has already taken a course towards the neighboring countries. Today, you can find her clothes in Moscow, and soon the designer intends to go to Europe. In September, I'm going to Italy for some exhibitions. My plans are to present my collections there and have distribution in Europe. Exclusive wedding dresses, luxurious evening dresses, or children's ruler. One thing unites them. Ilati gives indispensable sense of uniqueness.